New client, February 6, 1922. Night. Have a new client, Mr. Arthur Anderson, the original manager of the First National grocery store chain. It appears that the First National grocery in Innsmouth was recently burglarized, and its manager, one Brian Burnham, is missing. From what I've been able to gather, Burnham is something of a young rogue. A friend of the family, Mr. Anderson gave him the job as a favor. Burnham is looking like the prime suspect for the robbery, but there are a few things that don't add up. Not to Anderson, and not to me. For instance, why would Burnham force an entry into the store when he had a full set of keys, free access to the cash register, and the combination to the back office safe? To misdirect any investigation? If that was his plan, why did he disappear? Following my conversation with Mr. Anderson, I found out that I could about the ancient town of Innsmouth. For generations, the crumbling seaport and its people have been shunned by neighboring communities. Outsiders are unwelcome there, and there are superstitious tales of a strange element in the town's oldest families. They are mixed blood, so the stories go. What that was supposed to mean. The usual hick town produces, no doubt. After making a brief visit to Innsmouth, my client came away distrustful of the local authorities. He isn't buying the line that Burnham robbed the place and wants to know what happened to him. Only one bus goes to Innsmouth, and tomorrow afternoon I'll be on it. Feels good to have a purpose after 5 months trying to break through my amnesia. I also feel a little apprehensive. Maybe it's the wild stories about the town. Maybe it's just because I haven't had a case in so long.
Driver, how far to the stop?
It's almost there. I'll drop you at the town square of Innsmouth.
Why lock the gates?
Keeps out wanderers looking for work. We don't want those folks like that interfering with our affairs.
Is the bus from Arkham always this empty?
Aye, and we prefer it that way. Not many come to Innsmouth.
But what about trade? Surely the port needs business.
Innsmouth has the means to look after her own.
Well, we had quite a talk in here.
This is it, stranger. End of the line.
Say,
Could you direct me to the First National grocery store? I hear they have a shop in town.
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, well, you see, I'm looking for a young lad called Brian Burnham. I'm a friend of the family. He worked in the store.
Don't know who you're talking about, fella.
The First National is a large chain. You sure you haven't seen it?
I'm sure. Stop bothering me with questions.
this fellow looks friendly. Hello.
I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
Can't help you.
Do you know the Burnham lad? He worked in the First National.
Can't rightly say I know him.
Evening.
Aye.
The name's Jack Walters. I'm just visiting.
You don't say, sir. Gilman. Charlie Gilman. I run this here hotel of an evening.
You got any rooms?
I'd not rightly know that for sure. All habits cleaning rooms at present. Them's from out of town can leave a horrid mess.
So...
Talking to this fellow's getting me nowhere, and he's more than a touch creepy. If I need a room and I'm desperate, then I'll come back.
I guess investigating at the night is a good idea now.
Hello again.
Yeah,
I'm after directions to the First National grocery store.
and I'm busy. So stop your pestering me with questions.
Hello, Gilman.
What do you want now?
Strange thing about that Burnham lad.
Burnham. Kent rightly says I know what you're talking about.
That's odd. It was all over the Arkham press. Must have been a bit of a local scandal.
Them's matters for the police, stranger. Innsmouth's not a town for rumoring and talking.
How's business?
Can't you see I'm busy? Stop bothering me with your talking.
Sorry.
Aye, I'm plenty sure you are.
Welp. Still gave me nothing. Nobody knows about that Burnham guy. And I don't know when the first national store is. Oh, this is getting weird. There's the key though.
He's not gonna be any help, and only a crazy fool would spend the night.
Well, let's see what we have. 1916 to 1921, missing entries. I'm completely unable to recall what led to my confinement in the Arkham Asylum, or what happened to the 6 years between my two visits there. They tell me that I had some kind of personality change that night in Boston. They watched me for a while, decided I wasn't dangerous and let me go. After 6 years, I switched back just as mysteriously. They admitted me again, found nothing wrong, and here I am. Among the personal effects they returned to me is a leather-bound journal. Perhaps it will tell me what I've forgotten. Looking through the journal, all I can find is my life as a police detective. There's no hint on any illness, or mental strain, or anything else that could explain my change of personality, or the equally sudden recovery that still baffles my doctors. However, a number of pages have been torn from the journal. Who did it, or why, I can't tell. Did I destroy them myself to suppress some horrific memory? Or did the asylum staff judge the contents detrimental to my treatment? What was part of my life erased? What was it that I can't remember? What's it stay forgotten? Is it a precaution to protect my sanity? Or the key to something I need? First National Grocery Store, that's the place. And literally nobody knows about it. Weird. Innsmouth to her sons, who died for liberty. 1775, 1781.
This statue commemorates the men who fought in the Revolutionary War. It's seen better days. Evening, Constable.
Courtesy, I'm busy. No time for talking strangers.
I'm Detective Jack Walters. I've been hired by the regional manager of the First National.
And I'm Constable Burke, and I'm the law around these parts, and I'm still not talking to you. Now get lost.
Talking to that fella's a waste of my time.
Shit, he's coming.
The window's smashed. I can see what looks like an old dark room. Nope, nothing important here. The till's empty.
Well, I guess it was taken by police.
Stock reminders and general notices. Nothing of interest.
Store of the Year. Brian Burnham.
A Store of the Year poster. Huh. It seems Brian had a lot of pride in the store. The store appears to have been doing quite well under Brian.
Yeah, it's quite weird how nobody is talking about it.
A typewriter. Invoices and receipts. Nothing of interest. There's a bottle of bootleg rum and a wooden handle.
Lifting trapdoors. Alright. Trapdoor.
Whoever's down there, you can rock.
So much for Constable. What's this? Diary of Brian Burnham. Now that's a good evidence. Well, I agree with the locals on one thing. I shouldn't be stuck in this miserable excuse for a town. I can see why nobody comes here, that's for sure. Not a slow day at the store. First I thought people were staying away because First National isn't local, but I haven't seen anyone go into any other stores either. Come to that, I haven't seen any other stores open for business. This place is deader than dead. Still won't be long before I'm out of here. Before we're both out of here. Just one good thing about Innsmouth, we'll bust open Old Man's White Safe, take a car, and then it's New York City. Bright lights, nightlife, everything. I sure, all of it. I like being creative.
The cellar's filled with human remains. These people must have died a long time ago. There must have been a fire down here.
Right, I've been here before.
There are some issues of the Innsmouth Courier lying here, and they're dated 1846. Old photos of Innsmouth. Most of them have faded beyond recognition.
Alright, let's see what this say about Innsmouth. Innsmouth petitioner arrested. Tales of a Heathen Ceremonies by John Lawrence, editor. But Marsh, the head of Innsmouth, wealthy and influential Marsh family, now sits in a city jail accused of devil worship and other unspeakable practices. Whole community is left in a state of shock by the horrifying revelations that accompanied the arrest. Readers will no doubt be aware of a deep reservation expressed by the Courier's editorship and other decent citizens concerning the esoteric order of Dagon. Which was founded by Captain Marsh after his return from the South Seas and is said to be based upon the primitive religion he encountered among the uneducated natives of certain distant Pacific islands. The captain's arrest seems to lend strength to those suspicious, and a full investigation expected to unearth more.
The old printing press appears to have been sabotaged.
Huh. Alright, quick review. Basically, the press that was working against the local religious community was sabotaged and put on fire, so many people died in there. And now at this place we have First National store.
I don't suppose the fire helped it much either.
Alright.
Jack?
Ah, fuck! I want to
Do
save
I
the
know
game.
you?
Lucas Mackey. Sorry to startle you. Innsmouth doesn't get a lot of visitors. New names spread fast. What are you doing in town, Jack? Hear about the missing Burnham boy?
Not bad. I'm a private detective. My client's a friend of the Burnhams.
Seen the latest press from Arkham? Your boy's been quite busy.
What about you, Mackey? You're obviously not a local. What's your business in town?
True enough, Jack. Nothing too exciting, I'm sorry to say. I'm a government factory inspector. They posted me in this rotten hole to check over the old Marsh refinery. Speaking of which, I've got an appointment with the manager, Jacob Marsh.
Okay. Maybe I'll catch you later. That's the first friendly face I've seen in this damn town. But I've been in this business long enough to know he's hiding something.
Don't tell him anything.
Hmm?
Where is everybody? It's very quiet.
If you don't like it, just turn around and leave.
Seems like a fair idea. Hello?
Excuse me, Constable. Jack Walters.
Ropes. Alien ropes. What you want?
Could you help out a stranger to this fine port?
Are you being funny?
No, not at all. I'm looking for a Brian Burnham. He works locally, in the First National grocery store.
Innsmouth don't take too kindly to them from out of town. Get lost, stranger.
Really? So much of a help from authority.
What happened here, Constable?
Nothing.
Oh, swell. You can let me pass then?
No. You'll have to go another way.
Constable Ropes,
What you after now?
you ever meet Brian Burnham?
I couldn't rightly say as I remember.
The burglarizing of the First National is big news in the Arkham press. The Burnham lad must be one of your prime suspects. Any luck tracing his whereabouts?
No. That'd be a matter for the Order.
The Order? Isn't this a matter for the police?
Yup. That too.
Who is the Order?
Them's that look after affairs there in Innsmouth. And you'd mind your business not to be asking too many questions.
Seems like the Burnham lad had some doll along for company on this little caper.
All sorts of nonsense and hearsay be gossiped about such affairs.
But there was another robbery at Waite's Variety Store. That much is true?
That's for certain.
How did they break in?
Just down them there steps. Old Tom Waits had locked up for the night.
Right. Thanks.
It's actually somewhat useful information from Innsmouth town.
Do you know where I could find Mr. Waits in the evening?
It's getting late. Folks who know what's good for 'em are generally bolted in their homes by now.
Where's Waits' house?
Look, stranger. Get lost and stop your bothering me with questions.
He's nothing more than a thug, and I don't feel like pushing my luck.
I mean, you pushed it enough.
Outsiders coming, snooping around where they ain't wanted.
I heard that.
Huh? Who's that there? Oh, can you spare a few pennies, young mister? I can give you something for your generosity.
Who are you?
Zadok, that be my name, though too few use it now. Zadok Allen,
Do you know a Brian Burnham?
just a young'un. Worked over the store. He's gone. Cute, I reckon.
Killed? What makes you think that?
Them's from out of town running a store. Taking business from the Order of Dagon. They'd not accept that.
What else can you tell me about this port?
You just bring old Zadok a bottle of something nice, and old Zadok will fill your head.
Well, just happens I got a bottle of some real good rum. How's that, old pirate?
Why, you're uncommonly kind, young feller. Here be a little something in gratitude that may help you in your search.
Yeah?
Ah. Ah. Now you be calling me crazy. Like them that's there rumoring in Ankrum and Ipswich. But old Zadok's seen all manner of wicked things since before you was born. Old Captain Mobit where it all began. Telling desperate folks they'd order get better gods. Them's that would answer their prayers.
Didn't the Christian folk of Innsmouth object to such blasphemy?
Aye, they did. It were around 46 that many folks in town were done with Obed and his ways. And all that wild preaching and too many missing, you see. A party of good folk followed Captain Obed's crowd out to the reef. Shots were fired. Next day, Obed and 30 of his followers were in jail. And for weeks all were quiet, till that artful night of 46. Them's outside reckoned out it being a riot. But I'd seen them. Swarms of them.
Swarms?
Look, old man. I don't have time to listen to these fishing tales.
Was a massacre. The jail thrown open. Mounds of the dead and the dying. Shooting and screaming and shouting all across the town square. Come morning, the mess was cleaned up. Old Obed and his family takes charge, they did. Folks were told to keep shy of strangers if we were knowing what was good for us.
Zadok, who did all this? Who did all...
Said the old captain was now deeper in debt to his heathen gods. They were hankering for more than just sacrificing. Obed told folks they had to take the oaths of Dagon.
Oaths of
What
Dagon?
the hell are these oaths?
You just asked old Wes about oaths of Dagon. He take the third oath. Just head over to his hole in the Dock Street. Then you'll see. For definite.
He's given me a key to the town poorhouse. It could come in handy.
Mr. Walters, I must speak with you.
It's Jack. And is there anyone in Innsmouth who doesn't know my name?
My name's Rebecca Lawrence, and unless you want to join Innsmouth's long list of missing, I'd urge you to follow me.
Missing, huh? Like Burnham?
Of that, I'm not sure. You'd be better off asking the Billingham's daughter, Ruth. She was dating Brian.
What? Who's Ruth?
Quickly, you have to follow me. It's not wise to be seen talking to outsiders.
Don't tell me I fell for a pretty face.